Welcome back, Guardians, and today we tackle one of the myths of Destiny, something that I have not included within the mysteries of Destiny, which is unfortunate, and that is, who is Nokris? For those of you that are confused and have never heard this name before, let me fill you in. If you go into the mission of Regicide, which is the final mission of the Taken King DLC, you will find that there are 3 statues at the end, and if you're me, you'll just walk straight past them and go in. But if you're like many other Destiny players, you will come across and actually go up to them and hold X or square and uncover the truth behind the statues.
The marking suggests this is a hive god, but I don't recognize the symbol. Nothing in the world's grave file either. The name is Nokris.
So you'll notice that the one to the right is Crota, the one straight down the middle is Oryx, and the one to the left is Nokris. Now what the Nolan Northbot says to you when you learn the information about the statue, he tells you that 1, the name is Nokris, and 2, which is the most important thing, is that Nokris is not found anywhere within the world's grave. This sets off a lot of alarms, saying, how could something like this not be found within the world's grave when the world's grave holds every knowledge about the hive? That just seems impossible. Now, within this video, all we can do is just speculate, which is unfortunate. There is no definite conclusion as to what Nokris is. But like I said, we can speculate. The other thing that Nolan Northbot says is that it seems to be like a god. And like I said before, the world's grave not being found within it, why would a god not be found? All the 5 worm gods are found within the world's grave, and everything else. Now, most people believe that using the knowledge that they are given right here, they immediately think DLC. Nokris, the all great and powerful, better than Oryx, stronger, crazier, raid, oh my god, coming to destroy us because we killed Oryx. That's what everyone wants. I don't think that'll happen. I don't. Unfortunately, it's not just does not seem to add up that way. It would be cool, and that'd be one too many Hive DLCs for me, but would be cool. Now, the 2 directions you can choose when you speculate is to go down the family tree, making Nokris a brother, sister, cousin to Crota and the sisters. This has some things going for it, like, for example, Oryx's statue is bigger and grander and further back, looking upon the 2 smaller statues. Crota is a smaller statue, he is the son of Oryx, it just makes sense. Now Nokris is over to the left, the same size, the same position as Crota, making them equals. That is what leads people to believe that this is a possible outcome of this. However, I for one do not believe that. Looking back at what Nolan Northbot said, this name is not found within the world's grave. Something that is so recent as to Oryx's offspring would definitely be found within the world's grave, unless it is something super secret. Yeah, like a fair or something. He just wants it to be off the record. That's a possibility. But let's be realistic here. How could something not be incorporated into the world's grave? Well, instead of going down the family tree, how about we go up into the past, more towards Oryx's sisters and the Osmium King. Now, here's a little bit of information about Oryx if you don't already know. Oryx is super conceited and loves himself. He's a narcissistic bastard. He loves power and he loves being better than people. The Osmium King was not powerful at all. He is the father of Oryx. And the Osmium King was a proto-hive, which is nothing compared to the hive today. In fact, they are equivalent to the bugs you step on by accident. You'll never know they're there. They're super weak. It does not matter. It's not impossible to say that Oryx thought himself better, and like he thinks himself better than Crota, he puts Nokris in front of him. Lower, smaller, not as equal to himself. Doesn't mean to say he hates him. He may love his dad, but that only helps justify the fact that he is there because Oryx does hate that his son died, Crota, which means that he actually does somewhat care for him. So having Nokris in front of him also means that. Also, going from left to right, having Nokris on the left, then Oryx, which is bigger and better, then Crota. That also makes sense, but that's a bit of a stretch. So what I'm trying to say is that Nokris is not something you'll see ever in DLC, unless you go back in time. Then you possibly could see him. But Nokris, in my opinion, is the Osmium King, the father to Oryx, Zavathun, and Zero. And if you want more information to justify what I just said, maybe you're already typing your comments saying, wow, that was anticlimactic. I thought of that myself. I still want it to be a DLC. Well, here's another thing. Nokris is also on the level of God. Maybe he is the sixth worm god. I don't know. But still, the father to Oryx, who considers himself a god. The person that fathered him is to be considered a god. When you were a kid, you thought as your parents as gods. Not literal, just mightier and more powerful. I don't know. To the bare minimum, at least, you didn't actually call them a god. But they were up there. That only justifies the fact that Nolan Northbot puts Nokris and saying the word god and worm god into the same sentence. It just makes sense, and it makes for a better storytelling. And having Nokris be the Osmium King makes 100% sense in my head. Or maybe, you know, Oryx decided to just have an affair with someone, had this bastard child. Nokris, keep him off the books. Maybe he had like a wife, he didn't want to know about that. So he just decided to delete all information on this Nokris kid. But turns out Nokris is a super powerful person, way better than Crota ever was. Maybe even along the lines of Oryx, maybe even more powerful. And Oryx loved this, but he could never quite love his child, so he had to disassociate himself from Nokris, but put in a statue of his name just to show that, you know, he kind of does like him. And maybe the Dreadnought was like his man cave, didn't let anyone on there, so putting a statue of Nokris on there didn't quite affect or let anyone else see that. That's also a possibility too. But anyway, Guardians, that's it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Later, Guardians.